So someone that is starting out, they have, a starter camera or their iPhone, but composition is, like thinking about that, like how they're shooting, what they're looking at is maybe the most important part of all this. Like, what should they keep in mind?
I mean, it depends on your level of interest, but starting out, you should give yourself something to do. Like give yourself a task or a project to start with. So if you are more technically minded, you want to get into shutter speed and ISO and depth of field and all that kind of stuff, there's lots of great resources for that stuff. But when it comes down to just making images, if you haven't studied or spent a lot of time thinking about creating images, a great place to start is to just look up the rules of composition. There's 7 basic rules of composition. You'll Google it, you'll find hundreds of lists that, and it's not necessarily 7, you'll find some lists will be 13 or some of them only 4, but things like the rule of thirds and balance and so forth and so on. So what I always recommend, or when I've worked with students just getting started, is start out small. Give yourself one thing to focus on. So when you go out and you're taking pictures, you have something to kind of base what you're doing off of. So start with pick one of the rules of composition, like the rule of thirds. I'm going to go out and I'm going to shoot rule of thirds all day. I'm not going to think about anything else. I'm just going to shoot rule of thirds and take as many pictures as I can. Because the idea is that as you become more familiar with things like this, you can stop thinking about it and it just becomes sort of natural to you. So when you're going out, like when I'm going out and shooting, I don't stop and necessarily think, okay, what part of the frame do I need to put this in? You just sort of do it because you've done it a lot. So the best way really, whether you're using the rules of composition or what have you, is to just go and do it a lot. The more time you spend doing it, the better you're going to get at it. So yeah, go out and take pictures.
Like in painting or drawing, they talk a lot about you have to draw or paint something or use a tool 100 to 1,000 times. You have to beat the crappiness out of you.
Right.
It's just out of the repetition.
The 10,000 hours concept,
yeah.
Something like that.
I'm too lazy for that, but yeah, you have to.
You're probably well over at this point.
You have to get your repetitions in.
Right.
Sure.
Well, and even if it's not necessarily composition, giving yourself a project that I did a few years ago when I was wanting to get better at using studio lighting and working with people and posing, was I did a project where I shot, and you participated in this project as did Katie, was a portrait a day. So I shot a portrait a day every single day for an entire year. Now, given during the current circumstances don't lend it to being around and photographing people as much right now, but you could pick a selfie or a picture of a place, or there's all look up photo a day projects, and there's lots and lots of them. So pick something that you do every day and take a photo and edit that photo and post it somewhere, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or whatever. But just to be doing it over and over again and be doing it every day will really, that's what's going to get you better the fastest.